Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Legally Speaking with Rest the Case. And today we are here with Advocate Akshada from Pune, who is a renowned lawyer with over 10 years of experience in civil, corporate, family, and other fields. Welcome to the show, Advocate Akshada.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
Good. How about you?
Same here. So, today's topic of discussion is the much talked topic that has been going around at national level, which is the Pune Porsche accident that has been seeing so many twists and turns over the past 2 weeks. So, today we are here to discuss there have been so much national outrage on social media and even on the streets where people are demanding justice. So, today we are going to answer some of the questions which people have from the legal aspects and also discuss how justice system can actually do something to change and to actually give justice to these people. So let's get on with our first question. Our first question is the accused Vedant Agarwal. He got bail in just 15 hours after the crime. So, is it possible in any case where bail is given so easily, and also I think it was a Saturday night, so it was a weekend as well. So, is it possible to give bail in such cases when there's a drunk driving case or a hit and run case?
So, before I answer this question, I would like to first tell that the bail was granted under Juvenile Justice Act and not under normal IPC sections because that is applicable to adults. But in this case, the boy was considered as minor. The boy was taken in custody of a probation officer who took him to the Juvenile Justice Board, and then they granted bail to him. So when we are talking about juvenile justice, then they are slightly lenient in granting punishment. The motto behind enactment of this act is to reform the juveniles, like the minor ones who are under 18 years of age. Now, if we are talking about this particular incident where Mr. Vedant Agarwal was taken to the Juvenile Justice Board, in that case, it is possible in some manner, but the incident, the chain of incidents, if I look into, they tell me much more bigger circumstances that were hidden that time. And after the media outrage on social media, a lot of people talking about it. After that, all those chains were, I think yesterday only we got report from Porsche company that there was no malfunctioning with the vehicle. So now all the situations and circumstances during that fatal accident tells me more about the delay that has happened, the delay that has been caused in taking his blood sample, and I will say efficiency that the probation officer has shown to take him to the justice board and grant him the bail. So now all circumstances that we are speaking here are suspicious, and then I think in very rare circumstances the bail can be granted in such few hours.
Yeah. So now this question that has been asked everywhere, that can he be tried as an adult? Because as we all know, he is like 17 years and 8 months. So he's just 4 months away from being 18 years old. And we have seen the Nirbhaya case where a minor was treated as an adult, because it was considered as a heinous crime. It was something that changed the legal system from that aspect, and it was monumental. So can he also be tried as an adult in this case?
Yes, definitely he can be tried as an adult in this case because as you have said, the crime is heinous. So Juvenile Justice Act categorizes crimes into 3 types. First, non-serious. Second, serious. And third is heinous. So now the FIR has been upgraded into section 304A, which is death by negligence, culpable homicide. In that case, it is considered as a heinous crime. And there had been many circumstances, as you quoted Nirbhaya case, wherein court has ordered that the accused should be tried as an adult. So, of course, in this case also, if all the evidences will be put in place in a strict manner, the fair investigation is conducted in this case, then definitely at this stage it is showing that he can definitely be tried as an adult.
So, as you said about the section 304A, and I think there's another section 304. So, what is currently he's being charged with? Like, and what is that? Like, it comes under heinous crime. The
Yeah,
whole
it
case?
does. It does. It does.
Okay.
See, the boy. So if you see the FIR, Section 75 has been implicated on his parents, which is exposing juvenile to the danger by negligence and making him
Right.
the culprit. And then Section 77, of course, that we can talk about later. That serving liquor to the minor is a crime under Section 77 of Juvenile Justice Act.
Yeah.
So if you see that if parents have also been implicated, of course there are different sections as well which was imposed on them for manipulating the evidences that we can talk about later. But now coming back to your question, if the minor is taking liquor willingly, he is behind the wheels willingly, nobody is forcing him, he is asking his driver to sit besides him. And there are, I think, videos that have come on social media as well, where it is seen that he's frequently driving that. It is not for the first time that he was driving that vehicle. He was driving even it earlier on regular basis. So knowing that the vehicle is unregistered, the vehicle do not have permitted approvals to be on the road, then the boy is also not having driving license. And if this shows that the boy is not minor, he is willingly doing all this act, knowing the implications of the same. So, so definitely, Section 304A is applicable.
Right. So now this, after this social media outrage and after the juvenile was sent to the remand home, there has been a complete shutdown of nightclubs and restaurants in Pune, and like there have been also people protesting that why are we, being facing issues because we also have families to run. So why are we being punished for someone else's crime? So now that police is sealing all these nightclubs, like, is it legal? Like, can they do that, or is there some can they charge the nightclubs that this is illegal and you have to shut it down?
It is not completely illegal, though I haven't seen the documents, but the notice that has been served to them is through Central Excise Act. So in that case, the concerned authority definitely have authority to go and investigate whether the bar is running in legal manner and not in illegal manner. As you know, in India, we have certain age limit wherein you can consume liquor or you cannot. So it is equally responsibility. It's just that, somebody is coming to you, paying to you, you should do some illegal act. You should serve the liquor to the person who is adult, not to the minor. This is basic law, fundamental law, and on that basis only this license to serve the liquor is granted to these bars, pubs, and in certain restaurants. Now, if we see, if you are not following this law, apparently it is seemingly are boys. So, of course, if you see any 40 plus age man coming to your serving, you're not asking him your age group. That is all right because that is apparent. But in case some boys, the teenagers kind of looking boys coming to you, then definitely you should be diligent in asking him his age group and then serving the liquor. And this is the primary condition even written on their approvals as well, that this is not permitted, this is permitted. Now, certain incidences are always there which change history, which changes your law, which changes your rules, and some incidences ring the bell. I think this is the matter wherein the bell is rang by the social media, by the population of India, wherein people are coming and saying that the value of two souls is just the writing essay and all. But I think there are certain situations that has to be even considered. So I think this is the situation wherein authority have considered themselves to be actively involved in such kind of matter, going to the pubs and checking everything. So this is this has to be done by somebody, and now I think this is the time which has come.
So now that you said that some of these things are illegal, but like, this is not a direct question to you, but this is a question that has been asked to the authorities, that why now? Why not before? So I think this is also a very important discussion to look after, that there always has been this thing ki haan chalta hai karke, and whenever there's something big that comes up, the police is now active, and now everyone is shutting off clubs and everything. So this is a question that people always ask, ki why now and why not before? Why not before this incident happened?
I think yes, this question should be definitely posed to authority. But I think there is other side of the coin as well, wherein there might have been some incidences wherein the pubs, bars, restaurants has been raided and they have been shut, but it was not given such a limelight which has been done right now.
Yeah.
Of course, the frequency and the intimacy of investigating into this kind of pubs, bar, restaurant is much higher now after these incidences, and everybody is covering that, and that's why we are coming to know about it.
Exactly. So yeah. I think that's what matters, because if the police and the authorities are vigilant all the time, then no one will ask question about it. Yeah, okay, they are doing their work. But when it's like everything just like that, and then suddenly everyone are. Yes. But there have been also a lot of discussion about this is going to happen for a few days, and then everything is going to go back the way it was. So, personally, what do you think about this? Like the authorities and the justice system, of how they're acting now and how they're going to act in the future?
See, it all depends upon the investigating authority, how they prepare the charge sheet, how it is posed, how it is represented in the court. But definitely, I think it will not escape the eyes of media now. And that's why they will be, it's the kind of check and balance of theory that will be applied here. And fairly it would be conducted, because though justice is delayed, it is not denied in our court system, that is for sure.
Yeah, I think that's very true. So personally, what do you think, whatever this case has uncovered, like first the accused was granted bail in 15 hours. Then there were reports that the alcohol blood test was delayed by 8 hours, and then another twist came that the blood samples were swapped and the two doctors got arrested, and then his father was arrested because he fled Pune, and then his driver was also threatened to take the blame on himself. So this raises a big question, that is justice not for the rich? So what do you think about this entire case, which can be actually turned into a movie if you see from certain angle? But on a serious level, what do you think, that what all things should be, changed at the ground level of the authorities or all the legal system, so that we can prevent it before it happens?
See, prevention is really subjective. It really depends upon the circumstance, especially in the crime scene. But in this case, this is just a mockery which has come in front of everybody throughout the nation. Now, if you see the chain of incidents, of course, I need not tell you, there are many already opinion, not just by the lawyer, but every other person who is expert in this. They are just citing their opinions. I did not tell anything new about this. Now that, of course, we have seen the manipulations because of this. Two doctors in the government hospital has been suspended, and it's all clear. I mean, because if the person is spending more than 50,000 in consuming the liquor, that person must be smelling of something. But why the liquor blood test has been delayed? Why FIR has been registered afterwards? When even I won't say that there was delay in the death. The victims were dead first victim was dead on the spot, and other was immediately after taken into the hospital. So even it was known that they are dead. Why there were delay in registering FIR? Why the blood sample? There are videos. There are even if you're sitting besides a person who has consumed such amount of liquor, who has spent 50,000 amount on the liquor consumption, you really smell. Why the police officer did not smell it and immediately put him on a test? Even there is another test which is called as behavioral test. The person who is intoxicated, you can immediately understand that and of course police is considered as expert in understanding the behavior of the person. Why they were not in a position to understand the behavior? All these are very important questions to be asked in this matter. So of course you see there is a mockery of all the justice system, investigation and all. But I think now because of all the outrage, it will be covered in very checkful and very thoughtful manner.
Yeah. And in the past also, like, this has gained national attention, but there have been many cases like across the country where these big sports cars, they just ram people and they have absolutely no consequences. So I think those cases will also slowly start to come up, and maybe there will be a change in the entire system.
Yes, true. That is very true. Also, I think parents will be more conscious in giving keys of their vehicle to kids, not just about supercars, but even your middle family car. Like, so even if they are giving keys, they'll think twice. Earlier, it was very casual approach that I can say in society. Okay, if the kid is 14, 15 years old, they're driving the vehicle, and we have seen there are many accidents happening because of that, because they don't know basic rules.
And you will see in the roads, like even I have seen like kids, I think maybe 12, 13 years old, they are all driving scooties around here. I'm like, how? Why?
Yes, I think after this, even I'll be afraid to give keys to my kids. Not even for the smaller distance, because you know now that this can happen.
Yeah, that's true. So coming to the final question is the families of the victims. They have been the most affected out of this all. And what type of court, what type of case can they appeal to the court, and what kind of compensation or justice can they expect? Like, what are the different types can they actually expect other than, actually having an amendment in certain law or something?
The compensation, if we say compensation in terms of money, won't happen in criminal matter. It is at the end the accused will be punished. If that is you call a compensation, I won't say it's a vengeance. So it's up to the state. It's a government who has to take care of all this, and not the private person. But if they use a compensation in terms of money, then that is up to the government who will grant them some compensation, and if they agree to take it. So that's all another level that is not related to law. It is about. But if they are tried under certain sections of IPC, in that case, the punishment is the ultimate goal of this matter. And I think even this will set as an example to others as well, that this is how, even if you belong to certain tycoon as a child, or you're associated with the influential family, it won't help you. So I think this is a very good chance for the investigation authority to show that no, justice works in India.
Yeah, I think that's very, very true. And this has been like tomorrow we will get to know. I think tomorrow we have the date to this, like the court is going to decide what's going to happen next. So tomorrow we will finally get answers of what is going to happen. But I feel that for like this will bring a change in the system, because everything is out there. You can't deny anything.
Yes, very true. But you can't deny this, because proofs are very much even the sequence, the time lapse in between. This shows that how it was. Everybody was supporting the matter, how they were delaying the matter, so that the proofs will come, very slowly, and they will be like corroborated tomorrow in the court. So all these questions, if are answered correctly, then there is a chance. But if not, then definitely it's open and shut case.
Yeah, definitely. So, Advocate Akshata, it was great talking to you. I think we shared some great insights about the case and about all the legalities of what was behind this case. And I hope you also had a great time with us.
Yes, I enjoyed. Thank you for inviting me. I love coming here.
Thank you so much, and thank you everyone for watching, and I hope we will see Advocate Akshata again in our podcast very soon. So thank you all for joining.
Thank you.